This weekend, we officially got the Western Conference Finals set. On Saturday night, we had the Dallas Mavericks versus the Oklahoma City Thunder in Game 6. And the Mavericks took care of business. They won by a single point. All thanks to SGA following PJ Washington on a 3-point. PJ Washington did knock down 2 out of 3 free throws to secure the W for the Dallas Mavericks. It was a close game. You know what I'm saying? That's what you like to see in a Game 6, an elimination game, a close game like that. Very entertaining to see. It was a very entertaining series the whole series long. We had Lu Dort and Luka Doncic chirping at each other the whole series. And I ain't gonna lie, Luka handled business, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Luka handled business. He had a couple games where he shot the 3 ball pretty bad, but in this game, Luka played pretty well. He had 29 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists. So he dropped a triple-double in the closeout game. He was very efficient from the field. He shot 60% from the field. He also shot 66% from the 3. Okay, so that's what you want to see for your best young player on the team. Luka Doncic handled business. And Derrick Jones Jr., you know what I'm saying? Derrick Jones Jr. was a great role player this series. Averaged like, 19 points per game this series. He had 22 points, 61% from the field. He also shot 66% from the 3. So I like what I've seen from Derrick Jones Jr. I was saying that from the beginning of the series. I feel like he was going to be an X factor for the Mavericks. He was playing that 3 position just so well for them, defending, rebounding, grabbing blobs, shooting a 3 ball pretty well in the corner as well. You know, Luka was able to find him, and he actually knocked down most of his attempts. Kyrie Irving also came in the clutch. You know what I'm saying? Kyrie hit a clutch 3 in that game. He didn't play the best basketball. He had a rough first half. He was kind of inefficient. You know what I'm saying? He had 22 points. Shot 39% from the field, shot 40% from the 3. So not the worst game from Kyrie, but we've seen Kyrie play better. You know what I'm saying? Now, Kyrie Irving is officially 14-0 in closeout games. So that's that alone. Like, when he was 13-0 in closeout games, I knew, like, okay, the Mavericks should close out this game. It's a young OKC team. Mavericks got more experience, got a little more, I would say more depth. And yeah, I figured that they would close out business. I was happy that they did. But it was a real nail-biter game. But you gotta give OKC their praise. They was #1 seed this year. Played very well with a young squad. I think they average age was like 22, 24, something like that. And honestly, SGA probably should have won MVP. You know, led this young team to the #1 seed in the West. That's not easy to do in the West. You know what I'm saying? This is not an East team. This is a West team. SGA did have a great game. 36 points, 8 assists. He shot 56% from the field, and he shot 80% from the 3. So SGA wasn't playing no games. You know what I'm saying? SGA came out and played pretty much his best basketball. You know what I'm saying? Played like an MVP candidate. And I think that alone was just the entertaining part. We had 2 MVP candidates going at it in the second round of the playoffs. I love to see it. He did have a little bit of help. Jalen Williams had a decent game. Did a little bit of everything. 22 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists. Shot 50% from the field and shot 60% from the 3. So, like I said in my last video about the Thunder, I really like what I've been seeing from Jalen Williams. In my opinion, he's the second best player on this team. He just does everything well for the Thunder. He passes, he rebounds, and like I said, he plays a small ball forward at 6'6". That guy is he's gonna make a lot of money in this league, and he's gonna be a star. I think he's gonna be an all-star one day. And then Chet, I didn't like what I seen from Chet on the boards, but Chet was pretty efficient. 60% from the field, had 21 points, but he shot pretty bad from the 3. Shot 1 for 7. And like I said, man, SGA was pretty mad about fouling PJ Washington on that last 3. They did do a review, and he actually did foul PJ Washington. After the game, a reporter asked SGA a dumb question, like, did you really think you fouled him? He like, it don't matter. Like, he said, I can't even go back and watch that. Like, I can't go back and watch that foul, because he know that foul is what, you know, led to them getting eliminated. If he didn't foul him, I ain't gonna lie, this would have went to 7 probably. You know what I'm saying? This probably would have went to 7, but he did foul PJ Washington on that 3, and PJ Washington, you know, executed. And on the other side, the last night, you know what I'm saying, last night for me, the T-Wolves and the Nuggets played, and the T-Wolves took care of business. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I had Denver winning in 7 because I'm like, it's Jokic. It's, you know what I'm saying, Jokic gonna take care of business in Game 7. And like I said in my last video, I literally said Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. will be the X factors for Game 7. If it's up to them, we already know we're gonna get from Jokic. Like I said, Jokic is probably gonna have a 30-point triple-double, and that's what he almost had. Jokic had 34 points, 19 rebounds, and 7 assists in last night's game against the Minnesota Timberwolves. He shot 46% from the field. He did shoot very poor from the three, 20%. But we all know Jokic is not a big-time three-point shooter. Murray actually did his thing too. Murray had a very, very good first half. Like, I think he had like 24 points in the first half, I believe. Yeah. Murray was cooking. Like, Murray came out to play, and he had a good overall game. 35 points, shot 48% from the field, shot 33% from the three. So not the worst game for Murray. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Murray didn't have a poop game. Like, you know what I'm saying? He came out and did what he had to do, and I feel like Murray and Jokic didn't have much help though. Like, outside of Murray and Jokic, the Denver Nuggets played pretty poor. You know what I'm saying? To be the defending champs, and that's what like I said in like earlier videos. I was like, I just feel like Denver don't got that. They just don't got no depth. You know what I'm saying? Outside of their starting lineup, they're kind of frail. I think they just need a couple more pieces off the bench to help them out going forward. This team obviously could still get back to the finals anymore, like next year, the year after. Still got the talent to get back to the finals. It just, I think they need more off the bench. Michael Porter Jr. played very, very poor. You guys are paying him a lot of money, and like I said, he's sold in both Game 6 and in Game 7 now. Like I said, I did not like what I seen from Michael Porter Jr. in Game 6 and Game 7. We all know he had a bad Game 6, and in Game 7 he shot so terrible. He had 7 points. He did do pretty good on the boards. He had 9 rebounds, but he shot 25% from the field. He shot 16% from the three, 1 for 6. So that's not what you like to see from your shooter. You know what I'm saying? You paying this guy a max contract right now to shoot the ball, you know, to be that role player next to Jokic. And like I said, you need him in these Game 6s and these Game 7s. And you just didn't get him. You didn't get the best out of Michael Porter Jr. last game. That was a little disappointing from my point. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if Michael Porter Jr. played how he was supposed to, the Denver Nuggets would have won this game. And I ain't gonna lie, they was up 20 points. That's another fact. The Denver Nuggets was up 20 points on the T-Wolves. That's another reason I thought they had this in the bag. I'm like, okay, they up 20 going into halftime. This over. You know what I'm saying? They got the experiences. They got the experience. They got the MVP on their team. And look, they sold a 20-point comeback. You know what I'm saying? That's insane. You know, that's actually good on the T-Wolves part though. The T-Wolves has been a great team all season long. They've been showing their defense, you know, all year long and in the playoffs. And I ain't gonna lie, Anthony Edwards didn't even have the best game. That's another part that had me so shocked. Anthony Edwards was playing so poor. That's why I was like, okay, this definitely going to the Denver Nuggets. Because when I was watching the game, Anthony Edwards just didn't look like himself. He shot 25% from the field goal. He shot 20% from the three as well. You know what I'm saying? Ended the game with 16 points. So, like, Anthony Edwards didn't have his best game. And y'all still could not take care of business as the defending champs. And you got the MVP on your team. But Karl-Anthony Towns actually came out to play. You know what I'm saying? Karl-Anthony Towns had 23 points, 12 rebounds, shot 57% from the field. He did shoot very poor from the three, 16%. But they still got the job done. Jaden McDaniels was a big part of their success this series as well. He had 23 points, 70% from the field, and 75% from the three. He also had a good Game 6. So Jaden McDaniels has been a very big part of the Minnesota Timberwolves' success. So I'm not gonna lie, with those two teams advancing to the conference finals, we now have the Minnesota Timberwolves versus the Dallas Mavericks. This is gonna be a very good conference finals. This is gonna be a very, very good conference finals. I can't wait to see it. I have to watch this series. Like, this is gonna be the best series, you know, out of this in the East Conference Finals, because this one we get to see Ant-Man versus Luka. You know what I'm saying? And obviously they both have very good supporting cast. Both young teams, well, led by young leaders anyway. And man, this is gonna be a very good series. And I think, like I said in the last video, I think if Anthony Edwards, since he already done closed out Jokic, this already done cemented him as a superstar. But if he beat the Mavericks and get to the finals, man, that's gonna be so impressive from Anthony Edwards. But me personally, I got the Mavericks winning in 6 or 7. Just because I think Kyrie and Luka is just more clutch. I think when it comes down to fourth quarter, you know, clutch moments, the Luka and Kyrie know how to execute. I will say that Ant guarding Kyrie and Jaden McDaniels guarding Luka will be a problem. I will say that. I won't underrate their defense. Luka has to bring out his best game versus Jaden McDaniels, because we all know how good of a defender Jaden McDaniels is. But Kyrie, needs to play better this series. Kyrie didn't have the best series last series against the Oklahoma City Thunder. I do think Kyrie need to be better this series for them to win. This will be a 7-game series. Like, this will probably be a 7-game series, if not 6. But like I said, I got Dallas pulling out, man. I really want to see Luka get his first ring. And yeah, man, I just think it's so exciting to see that Tyrese Halliburton, Anthony Edwards, Luka Doncic, or Jason Tatum will be a champion. That's just very, you know, we're gonna see a new champion this year, and that's exciting alone. You know what I'm saying? So you guys let me know down below in the comments who you got winning the Western Conference Finals between the Minnesota Timberwolves or the Dallas Mavericks. I got the Dallas Mavericks in 6 or 7. Maybe I'm being a little biased because I love Kyrie, I love Luka, and I want to see Luka win his first championship. You know what I'm saying? I feel like his supporting cast is actually there this year. They made the right moves at the right time. PJ Washington been hooping, shooting like Clay dang there, you feel me? And Derek Lively was actually amazing in that closeout game, 12 and 15. Man, I love what I'm seeing from Derek Lively as well. So, like I said, you guys let me know down below in the comments who you got winning out of the T-Wolves and the Mavericks. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, do me a big favor, smack that like button and leave me a comment down below. I'll see you guys in the next video. You dig?